We are well underway here, LFN6, here in Leicester. Not long to go till the main card. Joining me is Kieran, myself, Jolie. 2 prelim fights. Welcome to all of you guys here on talkSPORT. We have 2 big fights for you coming up. But before we get onto that, I just want to keep an eye on the main event for you guys who've just tuned in and aren't sure what you have coming up for you tonight. Connie Grace versus Pilar Vasquez in that main event. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that, because Connie Grace, 18 years old tonight, fighting for a WBC title. It's just incredible.
Oh, it's every young person's dream, especially when you're fighting, you know. And I think she has it all going for her. But she does have Vasquez coming out of Wales, come take her place now tonight. She's had a lot of hype behind her now, Connie has, over the last few fights. She's done her bit to get to the top, but now Vasquez looks keen to make an upset tonight. You know, we've seen a poll online, the people were talking, and the favour is slightly going towards Grace.
Yes.
However, it is razor tight. So how do you feel the fight's going to go out yourself, Joe?
It's exciting. I think Pilar spoke to both of them in the build-up, and they're not here to make up the numbers. Connie, of course, such a young age with still experience to gain, as I said earlier on, but she's not going in there with someone who's going to let her just beat around the bush and then end the fight with it, inside the distance. This is a fight that's going to, in my opinion, go to the distance. I'm not sure who I'm going to favour at this point. Obviously, Connie's she's got the crowd, she's got the energy, she's got the charisma. She stepped in at late notice before against Jada Ferrari and won. And that was a ranked female fighter. Connie does this for fun, fighting out of Iron Monk gym as well. Fantastic gym for those of you who don't know.
Vasquez is ranked number 4 in the UK.
She's ranked 2.
You know, so she is in the top 5, and she's a weight division above her in the rankings. So I mean, you can see it as well at the stare down. You can see the size that Vasquez can be that bit bigger, and it'd be interesting to see how she looks now once they're fully rehydrated.
Yeah.
Obviously, after going through their weight cut week. I've seen them do the walk-in videos to the venue, and they're both looking full and ready to put all them calories out.
Yeah,
to good
the
use.
marbles on the line. Did you see the weigh-ins earlier?
I did, and it got very entertaining.
It was heated.
But the thing is, that's what we want at the sport.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what we want.
Absolutely.
But to come up next, we do have Leicester Shoot Fighters' very own Lewis Ferrar versus Mikheil Babonashvili from Team Diamond. So that's going to be our first fight to kick off on talkSPORT and the Leapfrog Fight TV app.
Thank you, guys.
So yeah, thank you all very much. Also, I have to remind you, it's the big thing to remind you, get your tea and biscuits or your Saturday night takeaway box ready.
No tea and biscuits on a Saturday. I've got to interrupt you. No tea and biscuits.
I'm talking to all the
beers and wines.
out there.
Beers and wines only.
But get your stuff ready. Honest to God, we say this every show. I mean, they just get better, you know. I sound like a stuck record.
Absolutely.
But if you watched what we just watched,
the
prelim card, we were saying it got elevated every single fight.
Yeah.
You've seen everyone's placement on the show.
Yeah.
Every card, you have placements. Fighters that are on that position because they're working towards the next.
Absolutely.
And every single fighter that has been on this prelim card have earned their right to go a step higher on the next card or whatever card they go on in the future.
For sure.
They're showing that, you know, and so this is why it makes it so important with these next 6 fights. We got 2 on the talkSPORT, and then we got the last 4 live on the Leapfrog Fight TV app. So
let's say less and get started, shall we?
Be there or be squared. Let's get up. Yes, Leapfrog Fight TV. Thank you all very much for joining us.
Fight! Okay, before we kick off our talkSPORT prelims, just want to give an explanation to you new Muay Thai fans. Obviously, we're watching here on talkSPORT MMA. We have a very seasoned fighter in front of me to my left now. What is Muay Thai? Let's break it down, simplify it for these fans at home. The differences between maybe boxing and Muay Thai, MMA and Muay Thai. I'm sure there's a close comparison in a lot of things with the two sports.
So, Muay Thai, first of all, is known as the art of 8 limbs. So we cover boxing, elbows, knees, and kicking.
Yeah.
All stand up, okay? But what you do have at Muay Thai is you've got sweeping, so that's when fighters can get taken to the ground, but the fight comes back up at the top.
And there's point differentials between if you're not sweeped and you are sweeped, that counts.
Yeah.
In when it comes to the judges' scorecard, right?
Yeah. So with the scoring system at Thai boxing, I mean, it's if you're going through traditional Thai, a lot of the kick into the midsection, and then effective shot score. Yes. Okay, so kicks to the body, knees to the body are a very big score as well. So you can have fighters often the time that will just march forward and knee, punch and knee, punch and knee. Then you'll have other fighters, like some fighters that you might have seen if you're following us on the app and live on YouTube. You'll see that they're hitter and movers, so they bounce around, they hit with the straights and kick with the kicks. But a lot what works in Muay Thai out of all of that is effect, so damage. So if you're cutting someone up, you could have someone beat you up for 3 rounds after that. But if you have cut them up and you do not sustain a cut yourself, or a big bloody nose, or a big black eye, you can still win that fight because you effectively have done more damage than someone has done to you.
Would you compare the scoring of a Muay Thai fight to MMA as completely different? Would you say there's some similarities too?
So with MMA, my knowledge of MMA scoring wouldn't be as great.
Of course.
But in the sense of dominance, that's where Thai boxing has, it's quite similar, like even like kickboxing has that as well. Kickboxing is mainly scored off dominance, pressure control in the ring. But as you see, like with one championship, you know, a big organisation in Asia, they fight in the 4-ounce gloves. A lot of their fights are scored purely on effect and damage. Yeah. So the traditional Thai style of scoring is now losing out of the game there. But with the boxing glove Thai, which you're seeing here tonight, all of our fights are boxing glove Thai based. You're going to see a lot of clinching, where even hand positions in the clinch, how you're holding your stance, you're not getting wobbled. Thai boxing is basically all about balance, control, and essentially looking really good as well.
Okay.
You know? So
Good
that's what
know.
you want to be looking for, main keys. Yeah. If you're looking for 3 main things tonight when you're watching these fights, and you don't know anything about Muay Thai, watch a fighter's balance. Mm-hmm. Watch their blocking. Blocking scores really well in Thai. So just say if you're kicking me and I block that, well, obviously his kick didn't land, so I blocked that. If I'm in the clinch and I put my leg across Joe's legs myself, I'm now blocking Joe. So that means now I'm stopping him from effectively working. And then the third one is effect. Okay? So let's remember them off the top, how I just said that. So balance, blocking, and effect.
Okay.
So when you go home, keep an eye on them 3 things and see how you fare with it.
Balance, blocking, and effect. Now you know. Right, let's kick it off, our talkSPORT prelims.
into the ring. Make some noise for Lewis Ferrar! Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is a C-Class Pro Amateur bout to be contested over 5 2-minute rounds. Fighting out of the yellow corner, fighting out of Leicester Shoot Fighters, please make some noise. Sorry, out of Team Diamond, make some noise for Mikheil Babonashvili. Fighting out of the red corner, fighting out of Leicester Shoot Fighters. Please put your hands together for Lewis Ferrar.
Welcome to the talkSPORT prelims.
That was a very nice, deep introduction.
Well, I'm trying here.
That was good. That was good.
For the new audience here, we've just
like
given them an explanation of Muay Thai for the fans that don't know, but it's an exciting sport, and so far we've seen some great fights. Hoping to see some more now.
Amazing. We've had a fantastic build-up here live on YouTube, and now we are fully warmed up here for you guys on talkSPORT and the Leapfrog Fight TV app. Hello, everyone at home. So as you can see here, we have Lewis versus Mikheil fighting under Pro-Am Thai rules. So with Pro-Am Thai rules, you can see they have elbow pads covering their elbows. So it's basically like an amateur version of A-Class.
Yeah, I think it's good to explain to those fans at home about the different classes, systems, because they'll change a couple of times tonight. And yeah, it's different. It's a unique sport with different rules for different levels as well, right?
Of course, yeah. Like we have in the UK.
This is a great start to the fight, by the way. Straight away in the clinch. Knees to the elbow. Wow.
See that lapse in focus? That's how he got caught. He dropped his hands on the way out of that clinch.
Strong clinch. Maintained there to start off the round.
That would have definitely woke up Lewis. Mikheil calm and composed, marching in, raising the knees up.
I think it's important in Muay Thai to stay on the front foot. I think whenever you're on the back foot, you're always open to moving towards the ropes, as you can see here. Welcoming shots from your opponent, just like this.
He's shaking his head, but not in return.
Right hand return there. Wow. Throwing hay for leather, overhand right misses. That
Big
one
right
doesn't.
That left kick has been working for Mikheil so well. I actually thought for a second that Lewis was going to be down from that left kick. Both landing at the same time. Oh,
nice
lovely
knees.
dirty boxing.
It's that clinch work. Again and again and again. Inside fighting. And we can see the nature of these both fighters. Seem to be a little bit more tired after that first round. It was back and forth throughout.
Well, it kicked off out of nowhere in that corner. And what happened is you see Lewis step back. You see, earlier I was talking about when people disengage from the clinch, you have to react within a millisecond on that disengage. Because the problem is, he stepped back, he dropped his hands, he thought that the exchange was finished, but Lewis popped him with that right hand, stepped in, banged him with that knee, and you could see that the rest of that round, he basically, from what I could see anyway, was spent in survival mode of trying to defend any more work onto that body. You know, so it'll be interesting now, second round, he's shaking off all that. Interesting to see how they bought. This is 5 2-minute rounds, ladies and gentlemen at home.
Yeah, we've only seen 3 2-minutes so far tonight. 6-minute fights, you can't see a lot. You can't read your opponent for too long because there's not much time. You have to just get straight to fighting. But now we can see the more technical side of Muay Thai.
Lewis being, from what I can see, slightly a bit smaller than Mikheil. Mikheil looking a little bit thicker. But Lewis being smart on the back foot there before this clinch exchange happened.
Yeah,
Good
I think
tea.
the winner of these clinches is the winner of these rounds. It's going back and forth, but a lot of this fight is happening inside the clinch.
Mikheil looking a bit more of the power out of the both of them. Low kicks teeing off. Lewis needs to do something about them low kicks. That's about 6 unanswered low kicks.
What happens to the balance, to the footwork with kicks like that consistently back to back to back to
Well,
back?
low kicks don't necessarily score as well as mid kick would, but as you can see there, he went teeing off at loads and loads, which would effectively start swelling up around the knee. And when swelling starts coming around the knees, you know you're not going to be able to kick as effective, or the pain will start kicking up. Now,
Wow.
Mikheil doing a tremendous job. He's a step to his left now and not be following Lewis as much. Cut off the ring.
You can see there's one man putting pressure on and another man defending that pressure. And we know what the judges like.
So it's respectful that Mikheil held back that elbow, but you can elbow to the back of the head in Muay Thai. It's fully legal. You elbow until the ref separates you. So that is one rule that is completely... that's one shot that's completely legal that people usually get misunderstood from MMA and boxing. Oh,
wow!
Lewis come back with a surprising
Nice right.
shot out of nowhere.
Yeah, good right to end off the round as well.
That's 2 big rounds for Mikheil.
Absolutely. We need to see something special here from Lewis. Lewis Ferrar looking like he needs potentially a stoppage.
And a block. He needs a good block. I mean, he's not blocked one low kick. He's going to find himself in a very, very tough situation this round. It is round 3 out of a possible round 5. Lewis is really coming out with nothing to give.
But I think if Lewis can calm down and get at least one of the next.
But maybe is he too calm? I think he's looking too calm. I think he's waiting for something that isn't there.
Yeah. If he can get some success in one of the next couple of clinches, then win this round. He obviously needs to win all 3 now. It looks like he's 2 down. Then he can start to build some momentum.
So big scoring rounds in Muay Thai is round 3 and 4 and 5, but mainly 4 and 5. But from round 3 onwards is when the big scoring comes in. So I hope Lewis is just giving Mikheil 2 rounds to think he has it, because you usually have that in Muay Thai. You'll have guys come out very slow and calm in round 1 and 2. But Mikheil landed shots that, like them heavy leg kicks, will they show much damage now?
And what is the importance of coming out, or why would you say a lot of fighters come out stronger in rounds 3, 4, 5? I understand the importance of championship rounds, everyone knows that, but why do they take so long to get into a fight?
So it's from gambling in Thailand. The gamblers usually bet on the later rounds, and that's what gets them the higher payouts in the game. So, however, though, in Europe, it's not as common because obviously there's no gambling in it here. So, guys come out a lot harder in round 1 and 2 than what they do in Thailand.
Interesting stat there, interesting fact. Never knew
But
that.
that
I
left
must
kick
admit.
is landing beautiful. And Mikheil, I think Lewis's only
Those-
chance here is with his hook bombs that he's throwing.
Yeah, and
They
it's,
will not win you a Muay Thai fight all the time.
those knees to the body look
He's not blocking. He needs to work.
ruthless.
Mikheil is ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, if you're not going to defend them, you need to have something to give him right back. It's looking like a painful third round for Lewis.
He's tough, Lewis. I mean, he's taken an incredible amount of heavy shots, but it makes me think you have to throw something. Oi, left hook just connecting to the chin of Lewis. Now, so see what Mikheil's doing is he's holding the ropes with his arm. This is something that you're not supposed to do. I seen Lewis complain about it there a couple of seconds ago. But, I mean, you can bend the rules as much as you can, really.
Well, why is that? Why aren't you able
So you can't
to do
hook
that?
onto the ropes because that's effectively holding you up. You can lean on the ropes, of course. You can lean your back onto them and stop it from falling out. But when you hook onto the ropes, that solidifies you more with one leg in the air. So you can hold onto that and teach someone without them moving you. It effectively gives you a power in there you shouldn't have, you know, and you just can't do it.
It's like toes in the cage for an MMA fan, maybe a comparison like that.
The exact same. You can't grab the cage, you can't grab the ropes. But the referees inside there are doing a tremendous job anyway. He's doing it for a split second. But if he was to do that for longer, then it would be an issue.
Respect to both guys not taking a seat, not taking a stool here after 3 rounds. They're continuing to display their clearly have good conditioning, their conditioning ability.
Well, I don't know. Lewis's legs must be made out of steel because the amount of low kicks he's taking.
I don't know how he isn't sitting down right now.
I'd be sitting down.
Time for the 4th. It's game time now. I really feel like there could be a need, maybe a need for a stoppage for Lewis here.
Oh, lovely
wow.
spinning back elbow. Landed by Mikheil. Oh, he's getting fruity with it. It's like he wants to over spam it.
Nice right hand.
Mikheil needs to keep with the, see that kick. He needs to keep maintaining them kicks to the arms. Just keep scoring. I think he wants to land that picturesque shot, which I don't blame him.
It's hard for Lewis to find shots on the back foot. You can see he tries to push forward there, but misses, and ends up the other side of the ropes, the side that he doesn't want to be. Because if he gets pushed forward now, as you can see, he's open for some big shots.
Elbows are flying this round from Lewis.
Nice corkscrew uppercut from Lewis.
So we are 1 minute into our 4th round, the money round.
Just keeping him out of range there and lands a right hand. Nice work. Much better there. Use the kick to stay out of range and then land some of your own. Lewis could learn from that sequence, and he does. Great sweep.
Lewis Ferrar is as tough as they come. I mean, he's got a good few heavy shots landed on him, but he's landing good teeps in this round. He landed a lovely sweep, but also just got clocked with a big right hander and left kick.
I don't know if he's acting as if it's not hurting, but whether it's hurting or not, it's affecting the judges' minds, and you can't be getting hit like that consistently.
Let me tell you,
move out the way.
Shin bone. Oi!
No,
His
he needs to put his hands up and start defending these shots properly. Extremely dangerous way and risky way to fight.
It looks like he doesn't want to be in there as much, you know. I don't know.
One more round.
One more round, but you know, we said it in the last few fights. A fight can turn, which it has. Unless Lewis comes out with a massive shot that knocks Mikheil on his back, this is Mikheil's fight all day long.
Yeah, I think dangerous tactic that Lewis is employing here. I'm not sure why the hands are so low and he's allowing these shots to consistently hit his face.
Because he works the teeps off the ropes nice. It's like he'll have a spur of good sets in the round. You know, you'll do a few seconds here and there, but Then like Mikheil is not shy of a strong lad, you know. He's got power behind them kicks, and them kicks are hurting your arms if they're landing.
Yeah.
Like baseball bats going across your arms, you know.
Yeah, it's not good being a tough man in this sport because eventually you're going to get hit, and it doesn't look good for the judges, like we say.
Here we go, our 5th and final round.
Yeah, you can't just get hit and expect to win the fight.
See, it's that little bit there. After getting the kick, he needs to save himself back in front of Mikheil as quick as he can. Get the stance facing, don't be waiting, because that's when you could get effectively a knockout shot.
It just feels like a matter of skill versus heart here.
Yeah.
With one man taking the fight into his own hands throughout the first 4 and into the 5th.
There, he just nearly landed a lovely elbow there. He's got the skill. There's just something not dragging out of him. You know, he shows very good technique every now and then. Oh, lovely knee up the back from Mikheil. Big elbow, lovely knee to elbow.
Yeah, he seems as if Lewis is tired or a bit lackluster here.
Big shots and kicks landing one after the other on Lewis. Mikheil landing a nice elbow
to the chin as well.
Good timing.
I don't know if he's looking to go the distance here, but he needs to apply more pressure if he wants to find that big shot to somehow win the fight.
Well, our last few seconds are approaching.
There we go. This is the flurry we needed.
Oh!
Maybe too little, too late, but good fight overall. Maybe 4 rounds to 1, 5 rounds to 0.
5 rounds to 0. The band will play the music to how the fight is going. So if the fight is slowing down, the band will pick up the speed of the music. And so then that will then hopefully influence the fighters to give them a kick up the arse and keep going.
And is this every Muay Thai fight? Like, is it not classed as a Muay Thai fight? If it's not the music, it feels to me every single knife in the ring, and it's like to do with blessing. Yes. Spirituality is effectively what started this this rule, unwritten rule in Muay Thai and Muay Thai fights.
Yes, and then the dance is like a blessing and a thank you to each gym. So the dances, so often gyms will have their own dance routine and they'll add little bits per fighter. So they'll have their own unique things. But then they'll do that as a way of, for one, blessing the ring and send it as a thanks to their corner, but also as a way of warming up. Okay. So you see a lot of Thai fighters in Thailand, they'll just walk out, their dance will be predominantly their warm-up. And then, last thing, gamblers can usually bet on who has the better dance. That can usually tell them who effectively is the better fighter.
Is there any distractions when you fight hearing the music? Obviously, in boxing or MMA, it's usually silent. And some UFC fights, at the Apex, there's no one even there, so it's like complete silence, so no distractions, some would say. Is it something that you kind of have to switch off, not listen to the music? Because if you start hearing certain sounds and you're not focused on the fight, maybe some people would say that's a bad thing.
I fought with both, and I think it's different. Okay. You know, some people, to be honest, whenever I'm fighting, I'm just having a great time. You know, so you could put on Led Zeppelin for all I care, and I won't worry. But the thing is, it's about what you're looking for out of fighting. You know, if you're too worried about what you're listening to, you're not worried about what's in front of you. So I just think it's a cool addition. Whether or not it's picked up my fight pace before, I like to fight hard, but I think it's unique. Mm-hmm. And I like it with the sport. I like that it's there. If I ever fight a Muay Thai fight, I want to have it on. And I think it's just something you grow with the sport, you know? Yeah,
for sure. Completely agree with that. As for Leapfrog then, obviously we're on talkSPORT now, proudly on talkSPORT. How far can this promotion, this company go with everything that we've seen over the last sort of 6 shows? This is our 6th one tonight. How far do you think this company could go with the progression that we're seeing at such a quick rate as well?
I mean, it's limitless in a way. I mean, the one thing that is very apparent with the show is using similar fighters, building up almost a ranking system within the promotion. The problem is with any martial art, we were talking about this earlier, there's so many world titles. So the hardest part is to clarify who is the world champion.
It's like boxing for some of you out there. IBO, WBA, IBA, WBC, WBO.
And I think with like, obviously with our audience here, we've got MMA and boxing audience at talkSPORT. Obviously, welcome to Muay Thai, how are you going? But it's showing now people are going to see this and they're going to want to see a ranking system within Leapfrog. You know, this doesn't take away from any other rankings, because there's fabulous ranking systems out there, you know. But I think what we need in the UK especially as well is one ranking system. Like boxing, where you have one ranking system, or any of them. Like UFC, that's one of them. They've got one ranking system per division. When you look at who's the best MMA fighter,
there's only one champion.
Exactly.
Simple. Yeah.
So I think with Leapfrog, you said how far can it get? I think the sky's there's no limit with it. But that's where it can go to, where it can eventually be, oh my God, I want to fight on that show, because they've got the best fighters on it.
Yeah, one thing I like about One Championship is they have MMA and Muay Thai on the same show, so maybe that could be something kind of expanded on in the future. As far as the other promotions go, or the belts actually, the most lucrative one or the most respected one, which is obviously in boxing as well, would you say is the WBC?
100%. I mean, since I started the sport, my only ambition is to win that WBC world title. For me, it's and I want to fight a legit champion for it, you know. But for me, that's it. Like, when I was younger, I looked at Mike Tyson, I looked at Muhammad Ali, I looked at all the big heads at the WBCs. Yeah. And that for me is the one. But you have other ones now where other fighters would say are more prestigious.
Of course. So what are your socials then for people who want to follow your journey, and then the day that you do get that WBC belt, they can say I was there when he wanted to do that originally on the Leapfrog show?
Well, my name is Kieran Shanahan. You can find me on Instagram as Kieran Jaidam, so it's Ciarain. A lot of you might think that's spelled wrong, but it's not. My father added in the extra I when I was born. So it's Kieran with an extra I at the end, and Jaidam, Jaidam.
Keeps it more memorable, just a random I at the end.
Yeah,
which makes more sense.
Everyone goes, Ciarain. Ciarain, come to class, even though I didn't turn up much, you know.
That's great.
But Joe, tell us your socials where we can find you. You travel the world like mad.
Jolie _. No, it's great, but I always say Leapfrog creates something different, and the vision that I've seen here has been second to none. Like the ability to progress the sport with the eyes that we're looking to get on it is obviously increasing every show. With fights like we've already spoken about the main event, we have Alex Kenton on in the main event, and there's two Scousers who are looking to fight. Alex Kenton, if he does get the win against Mark Campbell. Should we speak about that one? Because in the world of Muay Thai, I'm sure people are going to know about that one. Two Scousers. Very briefly, do you have a little quick rundown for us before we head to the second fight?
Alex will earn his stripes for that fight tonight, and we'll see. Yeah. That's all we can say. But we are now about to move on to our next fight live on talkSPORT. So, yeah, get your cup of tea, as I'd say, and get ready.
Wines and beers, no teas on a Saturday night, all right? Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our next fight at LFN6 in collaboration with Titanium Thai Boxing Gym. We're here in Leicester, we're live on talkSPORT, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome our next fighter to the ring in the yellow corner, Josh Hall! Ladies and gentlemen, introduce to you, fighting out of the red corner. Please welcome Alex Chen!
Explain this for us.
So, you see a lot of Thai fighters do this. I think, don't quote me too much on this, is related to the Muslim religion as well, of going down and doing your final like blessing or prayer before going into the ring. So, but associating it to the dance and the Ramoy and all that, it's just a way of blessing before you go into the ring.
And is this the respect to four corners of the ring? Is that something that everyone does, or?
So when they're not,
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is
yes,
a
and also I find it as a way
to
as
be
blessing the judge.
contested over 5 2-minute rounds. Fighting out of the yellow corner, representing Sijaya, please make some noise for Josh Hall! Fighting out of the red corner, representing Titanium Thai Boxing Gym, please put your hands together, make some noise for Alex Chen!
So sorry, just got cut off there. But with the nodding down to the four sides of the ring is usually a respect to the judges or to the audience as well. For me, it's always been like a little nod to the judges.
Yeah.
Usually when you fight on loads of shows, you start knowing who they are anyway. So kind of just nodding down.
I'm not sure we can say that, allegedly. But I think obviously a sign of respect to the audience, and Muay Thai is built on respect, as we just mentioned there, with the music, the spirituality of it as well. It's important for people to know that. I think
We say Muay Thai is a community. Like, you'll often fight on a lot of shows, and it will be similar judging organisations and reffing people that would be on the similar shows, you know. So you get used to seeing it, but it's the mark of respect though to all the people working within the show. You know what I mean? So
no, I love that about the sport. It's going to be a good second fight here on the talkSPORT prelims. Alex Chen versus Josh Hall, as we say, is kicking underway, and a kick to start the fight too. 3, 4, and a right down the middle. How do you feel like fighters can use their kicks to stay out of range, Kieran?
So using the teep and the push kick is like the jab and cross of your legs. It's when you raise the knee up and pierce it forward. So you can use that to keep the distance. Like he's doing there to the leg. He's using that teep to kind of cause reactions. And then when Alex comes forward, that teep to the leg would usually nullify and push all of his weight back.
Good start from Josh here. He's trying to work his way in and out quickly, but he's really smooth and slick with it. You can see that he moves out of range, trying to find the distance. Is Alex Chen. Nice right down the pipe.
So it's like when you're causing the fakes, so from teeping and all that, the twitches with his legs will cause Alex to hopefully, as you say, flinch. And then that's when he can come with a stronger shot and land it whilst he's causing that flinch motion. But Josh is doing a great job at keeping the range. Alex looking like he's warming into the first round nicely. He's not giving too much away.
Yeah, you can see even there with the feint from Josh a moment ago. He's got great boxing skills. His stand-ups, really good. Sorry, his boxing work's great, and his kicks are good too. But I feel like he's so sharp with his movement, and he can read someone really well. Even though we're in the first round here, I think he's already finding that separation really well, and can work his way on the inside perfectly, as we've seen here.
Oh, knee to the stomach. Is that all she wrote?
Wow.
See, this is the importance of using them teeps and pushes. Oh, it makes that midsection weak. Saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell for sure. As far as dominant as one round can be, we have just seen that. here in Leicester.
You're going to see a massive pace adjustment now from Josh. You're going to see a lot more heavy teeps. If anything, he can use them teeps and push kicks like a dagger. Raise the knee up and flick the ball of that foot straight into the stomach. And then that's when you'll see the body starting to break slowly.
What do you think Alex Chen can do from here? He's down.
The only way to protect your body in Muay Thai is get your body as close to theirs as possible. Because if you keep yourself long, you're so susceptible to big kicks, big teeps, big punches to the body. Whereas if he's strong enough, you'll get into that clinch and try and wear Josh down. The clinch, for anyone that doesn't know at home, is basically like stand-up wrestling, except for you cannot grab the hips. You can only basically arm wrestle around the head and the body. Round 2, Josh finishing with a big round 1 with an 8 count.
Oh, nice right down the pipe again here from Josh.
What I like is he's not rushing to the body. He's working the hands to the head.
I'm not sure if the counter work from Alex is effective here. He looks kind of a bit worried to counter because he's going to have to be in and out quickly. And by the time he's in there, Josh is already ready to throw something new.
That was a lovely sign of balance there from Josh. You've seen Alex tried to grab his leg. He was trying to pull him, but he sat all the weight on the standing leg, basically making him heavy as anything and not being able to be swept.
And you can see here, he is just too fast for Alex. He's trying to counter, but it's not effective because he's in and out too quickly. And as I say, when Alex comes on the inside, he's a bit afraid to fully extend himself and leave himself open again. The last thing you want to do is be on the ropes like this.
Lovely cutting the ring off as well. As you can see, guys, he's staying in front of Alex the whole time. He's not giving himself that following motion. Oh, lovely balance from Alex.
Yeah, you can hear that music in the background now. Symbol of Muay Thai. Yeah, even the way he's using that left hand to just move his hands away from his head, move his gloves, leave himself open for a right hand.
So the one thing is, Alex is using his teeth a bit better. Oh, just as I say that, Josh throws a Spartan kick out of nowhere. But Alex was using his teep quite nice, but what he needs to do is establish something after that teep, because otherwise, I think that might have been a low knee. Yes, it is. He could have a high-pitched voice after that knee.
We may not have a fight after that knee.
Do you want to know a little fact?
Of course.
So groin shots in traditional Muay Thai are completely legal.
Ridiculous.
The only one that isn't is a knee.
That is crazy.
The reason why this is because you cannot defend a knee. Whereas you can actually teep someone in anywhere in the body. The leg, the hip, and the groin. So often or not, if you watch stadium Thai fights, they'll just have a shake and go back again.
That's incredible. I couldn't imagine seeing that. As a legal rule, I think that's the one I disagree with. But overall, I think so far we've seen the beauty of this sport and what it's all about.
You gotta have
look at this. Come on. That's one and done. If you do that in the first round,
that's what it needs.
It wouldn't be much of a sport.
You can teep though. Teep, as long as it's obviously pushing forward. You can't football kick, you know.
Okay.
So you got to have a good grind guard and a good set of cojones.
I think you need a set of those when you're not getting kicked in that area too to be a fighter at this magnitude as well. This is high-level Muay Thai.
100%. And I think Alex is near enough being able to get back in. It is horrible, though, when stuff like this happens, you know, because it really does take the wind out of you a lot, you know. I've seen many a fight get stopped from accidental shots. And
haven't we all, yeah.
It's just the nature of the game. It happens, you know, shots slip sometimes, and especially with this game, because you're kicking the knee in.
Yeah.
Sometimes that judgment of timing can happen, you know.
Yeah. Combat sports is the best sport in the world, the best boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, the best sports in the world, but the likes of injuries and things like this, it's so difficult to come back with. You have the highest highs and the lowest lows. Right now, hopefully, he's going to take the time he needs and he will be able to fight. Let's see if he... yeah, mouth guard back in. He's ready to fight. Continue.
Sign of respect from both fighters. Josh showing his respect and his sympathy. Now let's go.
Could have just called the end of the round.
At least he gets a bit more of a break, and then we are on to our final 3 rounds of a scheduled 5 round. So as if you are just joining us now on talkSPORT and Leapfrog Fight TV, we are 2 rounds in to our second fight, and these are now known as the money fights. So round 3 onwards is usually where the pace starts picking up. However, Josh has been maintaining a solid pace throughout this fight, scoring well, an 8 count in round 1, which is holding him in front nice and swiftly, to be honest. So see what Alex has to come out with this round.
Josh looks ready to go, standing up already. Alex not so much. Okay, both men ready now.
I'd love to know people's opinions. What do you prefer, 5 rounds or 12 rounds? I've always thought boxing should go to 5 rounds. I think you have a lot more.
And how long would you want those rounds to be?
So keep it 3 minutes.
Oh no, because you build up a fight.
Or maybe 6 rounds.
You build up a fight for a year, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Look at AJ Fury. That's like 5-6 years in the making. Too long if you ask everyone in boxing, really. But no, I think you need 12. It's too long. The amount people pay as well. I think you need longer fights. If it is shorter, then you do it like Muay Thai and you have 16 fights on the bill. But
it's interesting.
I think you need a longer fight because of how much time and effort people put into building it.
So I think even the 8-round idea, I think that's long, but sometimes you get 12-round fights and they don't really do anything till the last 2 rounds. And I feel like that's where there's a fine line when it's acceptable or not. However, Alex is working fantastic teeps on the back foot against Josh, being a bit more slippery than what he was in the first 2 rounds.
What's the importance of a teep kick as well?
Range finding, it's a setup. It can be used then as a fake when they raise that knee up nice and quick to cause them to flinch. There's so many benefits, but it's like using a long jab and a fake jab. It's similar kind of attributes, you know. Josh needs to get back to cutting the ring off, step into his right, working the shots again like he was in round 1 and 2. At the minute, he's following Alex quite a bit. And down again. The fight,
it's over!
Big shot to the body from Josh Hall.
It was waiting to happen. I feel like a dominant first 2 and Alex looked like he was on his way out, but the stoppage came out of nowhere. Talk us through that. Fantastic finish.
Well, I've been thinking that Josh was following him a lot in that round, but he was gaining his momentum, and it was on the bounce back of hitting the ropes. He spotted that shot, but he had the composure, come up, landing that. I think it was a knee to the body he landed it with. And you could see he was doing that a lot. When Alex was moving and hitting the ropes, he wanted to spring that knee up. But fantastic finish with Josh Hall.
He's going to be delighted with that performance, and what a stage to do it on. Leapfrog Fight Night 6, one of the biggest fights he's been involved in, and one of the best knockouts he will have on his resume to date.
For anyone on talkSPORT right now, this will be the last fight on the service. However, you can jump on Leapfrog Fight TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, our winner by TKO in the yellow corner, Josh Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a short break now for 10 minutes, and then we're going to be live on Leapfrog Fight TV for our main card, ladies and gentlemen. So please be back with us shortly in 10 minutes.
Wow, Josh Hall there with a stoppage in the third round. Very impressive. He did land a low blow, that's for sure, at the very end of the second round. Yeah. But overall, he was the dominant man.
He was, and he done every... It's like a charter of boxes to tick. He ticked every box going in from the bell of round 1 to the end of bell of round 1, and then going into round 2. He just... A slight percentage every couple of seconds he raised it up by. Alex started being able to control that distance, but I think just Josh had too much strong momentum on him. And then, of course, that low blow, not saying it had much to add to it, but it would have knocked Alex down a little bit going into that third round.
Yeah, I think it's important to notice the level of skill Josh Hall showed in that fight, especially with the boxing, the range, finding. He's a high-level fighter, and hopefully we can have him on a show, Leapfrog, sometime very soon.
I look forward to seeing him without the elbow pads on, because he did throw a lot of elbows in that fight that, you know, skimmed a bit and whatever, but, you know, when them elbow pads are taken off, that's when you start seeing some new eyebrows coming.
So talk us through the levels then. When does he take the elbow pads off, and what level would that be?
So usually it's after a performance like that, I'd often say his next or maybe the one after, but it's usually up to the fighter. Some fighters like to stay fighting in pro-am rules, which is completely fine, but to advance more in the rankings and to make more of a name of yourself within the Thai game, you want to be getting, for me personally, you want to be getting them elbow pads off as soon as possible.
When did you take them off?
I never wore them.
See, we're talking to a rock-solid guy right now. Never wore them in the first place.
I often think when you want to do Muay Thai, you do your steps to do the amateur fight.
Yeah.
But when you've had a bit of sparring or whatever, you're straight in there. Okay.
Thank you all for watching here on talkSPORT MMA. We'll be back very soon. I'm sure Leapfrog Fight Night 7 is in all of your calendars anyway, right? Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you soon. We'll catch you actually right now. Don't stop what you're doing or go over to somewhere else. Go over to Leapfrog Fight TV if you're going to do anything more tonight.
You'll miss us otherwise.
You absolutely will. Main event, Connie Grace versus Pilar Vasquez. It's going to be an exciting, exciting night. Main card yet to come here on Leapfrog Fight TV. We'll see you there.